everyone, I am Plankera. Today I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. So last time I finished the coat, at least I think I did get both. Okay. I was worried that I missed one last night for some reason. So now I was going to go through and mesh the rest of the shirt here because I saved a couple of the more difficult spots for today. I was a little bit tired after finishing the rest of the coat there, so not too surprising. But I've had a nice break, and now I'm ready to jump right back in. So we can go ahead and finish this arm and head right into the shirt. I've already got most of it meshed, I just need to do the upper part of the sleeve and the lower part of the sleeve. And then everything will be finished. There's a lot of various folds here, some of them with very hard edges like through here. So I'm going to want to make sure that I have lots of control over that. Especially since this part is going to be in the upper body. The part that will actually show, so I want to make sure it looks good. It's like this part won't show when the coat is on, but I do plan on making a toggle that takes the coat off, so I do need to pay attention to all of it. So I'm just going to head all the way around. Much like I've been doing with pretty much all of these, just get the edge good. It's like there's line art here, so really want that edge to be nice and clean, so this way the line art deforms nicely. I do think with this I'll probably be through the most difficult parts of the mesh. I think there's still going to be a few difficult parts with the skirt, especially the main part of the skirt, but everything else seems like it won't be too bad. And once I get through the shirt. So that'll be nice. I do think the coat was probably going to be the hardest part though. So now that that's done, everything should be pretty straightforward. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish meshing it this weekend just because there are a few that I think is going to take a considerable amount of time to get through, but we shall see. I'll do my best. Looks like today I've decided to start with the interior instead of the exterior. So I'm just gonna send some dots around this fold here. It's like the line is hard enough that I think I want a solid line on both sides here. This will be for the outer one, and then I'll put another line through there for the inner one. Okay, that should be good there. Before I do the inner one, I think I want to get a line around this shadow too. Let's make the triangles over around the shadow very nice. Very nice and straight. That might inform where I put some of the dots here as well. So I can keep these triangles straight. Probably should have done that first, honestly, but okay. Mistakes were made, but I can fix it. See, pretty straightforward fix. Now it's all better. now I should be able to make this a little bit better, and I guess I'll go all the way around and get the shadow on this side as well. That'll also help me define this area, so I'll just start on the outside and work my way in a little bit. That should make it nice and easy to get everything placed. I might actually have to put another row in there, but no, this is a pretty minor thing. I'll probably put a little bit around there, but I don't think I need that much. I do think I will leave these mostly to the dark area, though. The triangles are starting to get a little bit skewed, and that's why things aren't always going where they should be. Let's see here, this triangle needs to be more this way. That's why I was making that funny kind of shape before. I should pay a little bit more attention to these little triangles. I guess they were just feeling a little bit neglected. Putting these ones on the edge of this light area here, but still firmly within the dark area. This way I can put another row around that light area. I have good control over how that deforms. It's always the kind of trade-off when meshing stuff, just which areas are kind of important to be able to move around properly. And which areas don't matter as much. In general, it's good to have lots of dots, but you put in too many, it does get really hard to control. That is something worth paying attention to. You might be able to get some nice smooth deformations sometimes, but that's not going to do you much if you just cannot move it around. Because sometimes here you kind of have to move the individual vertices, and if there's too many, that can become an exercise in futility. Another one right through here, I guess. I don't really like this kind of structure here, but I don't think I can avoid it in this case just because of how this dark area is wrapping around. I think this should be okay, because I don't want it to go across like there. I need another one up here to help it out. But I think this should be okay. I think it should be just fine. I'll avoid... How exactly should this be shaped? But I'm going to avoid this dark area for now, for this little area that I'm working on now. And that'll go in the next one. Okay. And then I'm gonna have to do something interesting here. And transition from the dots in this light area into the dots in this dark area. But I think I've made that transition pretty smoothly like this. So now I should just be able to build up here, and it doesn't look like there's any terrible shenanigans going on through here. It all looks pretty straightforward, so yeah, I think I made that transition nice and smoothly. Now I can just go up this. Kind of funny how that worked out this time. I'm not gonna complain. Okay, I'm glad when things just work and I don't have to think too hard about it. I'm just gonna go around here now. Well, before I do that, actually, let's start getting the outside here. This way I can make sure that these triangles are very nice. I've been thinking about meshing a lot. And exactly how I want things to go off stream. So I have had thoughts on how to handle some of these things. Like I said, meshing is starting to haunt my dreams a little bit. It's okay, that's what happens when you have to mesh 300 layers like this. It's part of why I look forward to being able to put this out as a resource. Not just because you'll be able to see, you know, all the cool parameters and stuff and kind of learn how the program works, but also because you get to skip the meshing phase. That just makes it infinitely more accessible to work with. When you don't have to go through and, you know, do this. This way you can see what rigging is like. It's a good time. If you do decide to give it a try, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Okay. Now everything's starting to get a little confusing again. But just one step at a time. That triangle there. And I think this is actually okay. Looks a little bit weird, but I think it's okay. So now I want to go up here. Kind of make the triangles through here a little bit better. Yes, okay. This is looking much better now. There's probably a few extra dots here and there, but I'll clean those up. Right now I'm just going to go through and straighten out the triangles. Get those nice isosceles triangles that'll deform well. I'll put a couple in here since there's a little bit of gradation. Alright, and I think that should be that fold all done. Guess I still need to get the outside, but the worst of it is done. Alright, so now I guess I could start on this one. This area's... it has a little bit of a gradation, so I might put a few extra dots in there to help out with that, but for the most part I think I'm just going to let it go straight over here. So I'm just looking at these big triangles that I'm making here and trying to line them up well. Trying to make it so that they're not skewed at all. So I'm kind of putting the dots down in pairs because I always find that to be a little bit easier to understand. Because then the triangle forms and it's not like connected to four others, and I can really see exactly where that tip should go. I can definitely see why I didn't want to do this yesterday, but honestly, this has been going pretty well. Hasn't been too bad at all. Alright. I'm gonna go around the other side. Ooh. Okay, now there's another one kind of forming over here. So I probably want to do something like this. And then get that over there. Go ahead and do this one first. Do that. Work my way from the outside into the inside. That approach is working pretty well, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Something's working. Might as well keep doing it. No need to change things up unless you really feel like it. Like, sometimes it can be good to mix things up, but you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. It's fine. I already tell that fixing some of this up is gonna be a bit of a time, but I will manage. I always do. I'm mostly paying attention to the triangles on this side. I figure I'll be putting some triangles in the middle here to match up with the other edges, so I'm not too worried about them. I just want these triangles to be nice and straight. Ooh, these ones are getting pretty big, actually. I might need to put some around the middle just to stop them from getting so large. But I guess that's mostly a solid color, so it probably doesn't matter that much. I guess it's fine. And I guess this little fold here will break them up a little bit. Just going on around. Round and round. Sometimes I just feel like I'm going in circles. Okay. Guess I'll fill in this little area. It's already defined. It's nice and easy. Let's do a little bit of an easy part. After that, I'm going most of the way through that big long part that I've been working on. Gonna keep the inside dots here in that dark area, as opposed to kind of that mid-tone area right here. I'll keep them in the nice dark area. That should give me lots of control over where the shadow will go. There we go. That's pretty good, I think. I probably do need a few, just kind of helping break things up a little bit there. Because now these triangles are going to be connecting over here. So Oh, I should be able to do something like that. I want to make sure these triangles are straight. Relative to over here now. You know, this fold really is a big one, isn't it? So I'll need a couple of extra over here. Just to follow that well. Here we go. I think that should be pretty good. There just needs to be a lot of them. But it's okay. Once I get around this little shadow, that's probably most of it all done. Okay, something's not attaching quite right here. Need to figure out where all this is supposed to go. This generally means that my triangles aren't very straight, so I'm gonna go back and check those. Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. Alright. And let's see here. Yeah, this one I guess this one needs another little bit of help, so we'll have that kind of structure. Yeah, I think this looks alright. Sometimes having three vertices come out, or three lines come out like that can be a little cumbersome, but I think in this case it's alright. Okay, now just going around this one. Probably, yeah, let's see, there's a little bit of a gradation through here. Let's go ahead and put a few dots in. I'll also clean up the other vertices a little bit too, and that's make it a little bit easier to understand when I'm actually working with it. So I think that's probably fine like this. Just go in 2 rows until I'm ready to transition into 3 like this. Looks like I didn't quite perfectly line up the vertices on both sides. So it's not gonna be quite perfect, but that should be okay. This should be... Well, I guess yeah, I wasn't planning on making this 3, was I? I was planning on 4. Okay. Me forgetting what me of 5 minutes ago was doing again. But I remembered. It's okay, me of 5 minutes ago, I remembered. We will carry out the plan now. Just as intended. Yes, I was planning on this one being a 4 dot structure, where I go all the way around the inside, as opposed to a 3 dot structure, where I just kind of put something down the middle, and then put some dots on either side. Yes, yes. I remember now. Look, sometimes when I'm meshing things, I just zone out so hard. I can't even remember what I was trying to do. Like, look, I'm... Like I said just a little bit earlier, very happy to provide this as a resource just so I can spare you guys from this. But this is why I like to get it all done at the beginning, because then it's just out of the way and I don't have to worry about it anymore. And I'll just be able to carry on with all the other stuff I like to do. Okay, most creative pursuits have their tedious moments and moments that are less fun. But if you want a good result, you gotta put up with it. It's maybe a little unfortunate, but it's alright. It's worth it in the end. I think I put these ones a little bit too far back, actually. I'm gonna scooch them in a little. There we go. I can kind of see what I was trying to do, but I think this is better. Okay. The folds have been meshed. Now I just have to go all the way around. One more time. Get the edges of the sleeve all meshed in. You don't want to exclude any pixels. Not only would they feel lonely, but they just disappear entirely and leave black voids in your art, and it would just look very sad. You now turn your art into a black void. Oh yeah, and then this one I can already tell is gonna have a lot of lines I need to correct. But that'll probably take a little while too. At the very least, finishing the arm today should be no trouble, and I can just jump right into the shirt. I might leave the complicated shirt mesh for tomorrow though, considering I still have to do one more fairly complicated one to finish off the arm here. My brain can only take so much complicated meshing in one day. Like, we'll see how I feel once I finish everything else, but at the very least, the shirt has a ton of little pieces too, like, you know, the collar and the buttons and all those kinds of things. That won't be too hard. And it's almost there. At least then all the dots will be created. And then I just gotta make sure all the lines are going the right way. But I think I've been managing to keep the triangles very neat. I've been making a point of doing that, so this way I don't have to do a trip around at the edge. The end. When I am finishing off the mesh to double check them. I was noticing early on when I was working on the head of this one that that was actually being quite time consuming, so I'm just kind of taking that step out. Just making more of a point to make sure that the triangles are nice as I'm working. I'm just gonna do the outside ones first. Get the nice, easy, low-hanging fruit. Before I dive in to the center. Look, I might be a little bit intimidated by this mesh. It's very complicated. There's a lot of dots. And I already know that a lot of lines aren't going to be going the right way. I was having a time with that when I was initially making it, and I just kind of realized that I was just going to have to fix it at the end. Sometimes it is just like that. See, there's already a couple here. I see some over here too, but I mean, I guess I'll fix them as I see them, but I need to very explicitly go through all that. Oh god, there's so many. This one really did not cooperate with me, did it? Very unfortunate. But it's okay. I'll wrangle it into submission. In the end, you can make the art do whatever you want, because it is your art. Sometimes you just gotta prod it a little. But eventually it'll give in, it's fine. If I can do it, I think you can do it too. Just gotta believe. Let's see here. Trying to figure out exactly how these ones should be lining up. Because around here it's a little bit less clear. Here it isn't though. Here it should be pretty clearly going like this. It's a little bit messy through here because I do have to transition from one structure to another, but this is definitely the way this one should be going. Ooh. Didn't actually realize I had something like that in there. That generally means I did something wrong. But I don't feel like fixing it, so I'm just gonna do that. All this talk about wanting really nice meshes, and then I'm just like, man, I don't want to work on it more. It's fine, this is good enough. Don't worry about itself. It'll be okay. I tell myself that every day. Yeah, I can't tell. Okay, yeah, the line didn't get made. This is actually tricky. I think I actually want it like this. Yeah. There's a couple of directions that I could have sent that one, but I think that's the best way to do it. Okay, I think this is all good. I hope so. I don't have to redo that one. Okay. Time for detailed mess part 2. Let's go. Let's just start with the outside again. This one I'm a little bit less concerned with because most of it is going to be below the waistline, so it won't get seen as much. But I should still make sure it looks pretty good. Can't let yourself get too complacent. Just doing the first step of going around and around as always. And then I'll dig into all these folds. Oh boy, there's a lot of them. It's times like this that I miss my highly simplified style. Oh man, I think that's the art in Path to Nowhere is super beautiful, but when you're doing stuff like this, it's very detailed and can definitely get a bit overwhelming. It's alright, just one step at a time. One dot at a time. Just keep placing one dot after another, and eventually the entire thing is covered in dots and ready to go. As you can see, with every dot I make, I am closer to getting all the way around. So it's all good. Just keep taking those tiny steps forward, and you'll reach the end. No matter how much work it seems like there's going to be. Alright, let's turn on those triangles. Start getting stuff going around these clothing folds. Trying to keep those triangles as straight as I can. Let's see, how do I want to handle this part here? There we go, that looks good. I don't think I'm going to worry about this little part. I think this is fine. And I don't think it's just me getting lazy. I do actually think it's fine. Alright, that method that I was using last time about starting from the edges and then gradually working my way in, I thought was working really well, so let's do it again. Get these little shadows around the edges here, and I'll get the ones further in. And I think just enclosing this little shadow in a shape like this is fine. I don't think it needs to be more detailed than that. And I guess I can do this little part next. This little highlight that's making its way down like this. Just carefully enclose it in all the triangles. So this way the computer knows how to move it later. There we go. And then there's the shadow part right down here. And I want to get some triangles around. Alright, then I can just enclose it like this. Put in a couple of extra lines right through here, just to help with the gradients. But I don't think I have to be too particular about how they shake out. There we go, that should be pretty good. And I see this little shadow along the edge here. We'll go ahead and enclose that. I'll put another little group around this side as well. Something like this, I think, is just fine. Probably have a couple of extra triangles in there. Yeah. Yeah, that works. And you can see the triangles aren't very straight, so it's making some weird shapes on me. Do we have an extra triangle? I don't think so. Yeah. Okay, there we go. It was just being strange for a moment. Not a big deal, I can fix that. Okay. So let's see, from here... Oh, this is filled in. This is all basically just one solid color, so I'm just gonna put in a couple of dots just to kind of collect everything. Alright, so I guess the next area I should fill in is right around here. I'll get this in there. And this all looks pretty solid, so I think I can just do it like this. And let those triangles be a little bit long. I guess I should do this side first. This way I can make sure that the triangles are nice and neat right through here. And we'll head right up and around this shadowed area. Making sure that's enclosed. There we go. I'll finish the rest of that line in a little bit. And I want to get this one going too. Okay. Now I can pretty safely start going down here. This will help me keep the triangles neat. Just doing it one layer at a time. It's helping a lot, honestly. I'm glad I tried it. This is way easier than whatever the heck I was doing before. Or I guess I just picked a spot at random and hoped for the best. Being a little bit more deliberate with how I'm approaching this one. Okay, now I want to care about this shadowed part. So that means I need to care about the edges of this other shadowed part, because there's lots of little subtle color changes in this art. That's part of why I'm having to make so many detailed meshes and why it's given me a bit of a hard time. It's so pretty though. I have no regrets working with it. I think this kind of structure is okay for right here. Let me see. Yeah, because it can't quite get around that corner with a straight. So we gotta add one more for a little bit of a curve. And I don't think I need to put anything inside on this part. This is just fine. This part, however, does need some stuff inside. Okay, that should be good. Treat it like a 3-row structure. And I think it'll do exactly what I want it to do. Alright, let's go back around this part now. This part I don't think needs to be especially detailed. Well, actually let's get the really dark part first. And then I'll radiate around from there, because I can see that there's like a subtle gradient through here. And that's what I was tracing before. But I think it makes more sense to go for this part here. And then this part here. Straighten out the triangles a bit. There, we're getting a little bit skewed. That should be fine for all that. And then I'll put another layer for this part out here. And straighten out the triangles. There we go. And that just for cleanup. Okay, so I think that's the lower part of the arm done until I have to do the outside. So let's move on to the upper, where all the details are. Okay, so how do I want to do this? This is still just all the outside, right? Adjust the triangles a little bit accordingly, and guess we'll put some inside. I think that's a pretty good first step. Well, I'm looking at this and just internally screaming. But don't worry, I'll keep my internal screaming to myself. It's quite loud. And I prefer being a little bit more on the soft and gentle side. But being quite loud, well, oh, that's just a little unbecoming, I think. There we go. But you can see, it's like this entire mesh started with a single dot. And now it's a lot of dots. I don't want to count them all. That'd be way too much counting. But yes, it has evolved into something with so many dots. that I cannot possibly count them all. Like, man, if I thought I was going insane by having to mesh all this, just imagine having to count all these dots. That would be pretty insane, too. Alright. So now I guess I can start approaching it from this side. Just pick whichever area is closest to the outside and keep working my way in. Just gonna follow it all the way through here, I think. And then just put in a few dots to just kind of help collect everything and help the gradients through here. There we go. That should do what I want it to do. And this is a little detailed fold, so put a little bit of extra into that. Alright, now let's connect these two halves. Let's see, how do I want to do this? This is a really detailed one, but this is already on the inside. So I guess I should be doing it more like this, where I start defining the inside. And then I'll put some more around the outside, because I do think I want to be particular about how this fold moves. Yeah, I think this will work great. This fold is pretty important too. I think it's a pretty interesting one, so I'll make sure that it's nice and clearly defined. I think that's probably good though. And then I can just finish and close and get kind of like this. How does this go exactly? Is there... Getting a little bit lost in the mesh. It happens sometimes. Okay, I see. It's a little confusing because I'm kind of merging two areas. There we go. That'll require a lot of fixing later, but... what can you do? I probably don't want to do there yet, because I do think I want another layer on this light part right here. I think I'll keep going all the way through this gradient, even though that A very noticeable highlight was really what I was after with this set. That should be good. But yeah, right here. I'm just finishing closing this subtle gradient, and that'll be that. And for the rest, I think I can just do that. Okay, are there any other spots that still need some dots? Did I get it all? Oh man, I think I got it all. Man, I thought that would go on forever. But as always, as long as I just keep clicking the button, eventually all the dots will be where I want them to be, and I'll be free. Oh yeah, after all that, I think I need a bit of a break from the big complicated ones. But I think I can handle a few small ones, still. So I'll get started on the shirt. Let's see here. I think I want it like this. I got a bit of an itch here. Give me just a moment. I just get itchy for no reason. Really wish it would stop doing this, but not much I can do about it other than just go in at the end and fix it myself. I get the feeling tomorrow's gonna be a lot like today, where, you know, I finish a bunch of easier stuff at the end of doing a hard thing today, and then I do that hard thing tomorrow. And I'm just like, man, that was hard. Let's do something easy. Alright, if I keep working like that, I will eventually finish it. It's fine. I got this. I definitely got this. Hey look, I've already almost made it all the way around. I barely even noticed I had gotten started. And here I am, almost done. Heck yeah. Still a lot of triangles, though. You know, forget counting the dots. I'm glad I don't have to count the triangles either. There's a lot of them. Way too many. There. As usual, I'm gonna go ahead and do the easy parts to kind of give my brain a rest after all of that. And then I'll go back through and make sure everything's lined up right. As there's lots of easy triangles to eliminate here. They will eliminate all of the bad ones. They will not be allowed to exist on my nice mesh. Or I'm pretty sure I wasn't that lazy. Got them all right? I think so. Hopefully I didn't miss any. But I don't see any lines that look a little bit thicker than they should be, so... should be good. But sometimes they do hide very, very well. Okay, yeah, that wasn't one. Alright, I guess it's just time to go around now. Let's go. So I know that there were several ones that I was gonna have to fix. But yeah, I already found a couple. Oh yeah, I remember going through here, and oh no, working on another white thing with white lines. The horror. But yes, I remember quite a few that just did not want to go the right way. So I'll make them go the right way. I've got the power. They can't stop me. All they can do is try to run and hide. Okay. Time to look at some of these other layers. Yeah, I see one right here. Okay, that's fine. Some of this is really tricky to see though, just because there's a lot. And like sometimes it just kind of starts melding together a little bit. Okay, yeah, I think that's okay. Had to think for a second there, but I think that's all right actually. Yep. Fortunately, it looks like there weren't too many through here, I say, as I find a spot with like a whole ton. They were all concentrated in the one spot I wasn't looking. That sounds about right. It's alright, I found them. I found them. Okay. And I just need to check down here. Alright. The terrifying meshes and the right arm are done. Oh hey. I actually thought the shirt was going to be next, but no, it's the arm. Which has a lot of meshes that I can copy. Oh man, this means that I don't have to be afraid of some of the detailed meshes. Okay. I'm not actually sure if this needs one. Yeah, I don't think it does actually. The base probably does, though. Like, sometimes when they're that small, it's like the square is honestly fine. I don't expect to be doing very much deformation around the fingers anyway. I figure they'll just be rotated, mostly. But I'll still give them little meshes where appropriate. I'd be able to go through most of this. I don't think I want to do the lower part of the sleeve though, because that one is going to need a different mesh. It's sufficiently different from the other arm that there's no way I can reuse it like I was able to with that upper one. No way. So let's see if I can finish everything else on this hand though. And arm. That'll make future me's life a little bit easier, and I like to help her out when I can. Oh, that's good. I had forgotten how weird some of these layers are. The ones that are just kind of behind everything and only exist to help facilitate turns. Well, yeah, man, I just looked over at the time and just doing those two took an hour. Sounds about right. I kind of figured that they'd be a little bit of a nightmare. But it's okay, because now they're done. They're done forever. I will never have to look at them again unless there's, you know, some error that I have to go back and fix, but it's okay. I can tell my brain that I never have to look at them again. My brain will believe me. It's silly like that. Fortunately, these layers are all pretty small, and frankly, even a mesh of this level of detail is probably excessive. But it's above the waist, so I'm giving it just a little bit of extra care. And I do kind of want to see if I can make her hand move and do that little animation that I want. Okay. Bad. Especially when, you know, with these little fingertips, I'm pretty sure I don't actually have to mesh those at all. The ones that are a little bit bigger, I still will, but those little tips, it's like, I don't think I need to. I think this is fine. I think it's fine. For as difficult as managing the layers on hands are, managing the meshes is pretty easy. There's not a lot to it. This one's a bit longer than the other, so I guess I'll give it a mesh. Just make sure everything's looking good there. Yeah. When I was initially cutting the art, I was kind of amazed at how long some of their fingers were. Especially relative to each other. It's like I never noticed until I actually went and did that. It's like I swear every time I look at art, I just realize that proportions really are not all that important and people emphasize them way too hard. It's not really about the proportions, it's about, I guess, understanding the 3D form of it all. 3D form and just... how do I describe it? I'm not sure. I know what I'm thinking in my head, but... form and I guess just the overall balance of it all. frankly, people aren't going to notice if you're a little off. And even if you're drawing a front-facing face, even if the face isn't totally symmetrical, it's fine. If it looks good, people won't even notice. Like, man, why do words have to be so hard? It'd be nice to be able to properly describe some of this stuff. Yeah, I need another one up there. There we go. See, fingers are so easy. Mesh-wise. You just plop some dots down and you're like most of the way there. Especially considering the stuff I was doing just a little while ago. This is why I was like, yeah, let's keep going for a little while longer. Let's do some easy stuff and let me feel good about all this. I think this one's fine. This one probably is too, honestly. Pinky's just teeny tiny. Makes sense. Alright, this one I should probably pay a little bit more attention to. That's because there's two very different parts to it. I'll want to make sure to separate the hand from the cloth wrapped around her hand. There we go, that should be good there. And now I'll come down here. And just finish off the rest. That should be good. Put a little bit of just around the shadowed area, but I think that's all I really need there. I'm gonna go ahead and do the exterior while I'm over here. Just because I feel like it. It's like, why not? There we go. Now I can worry about the inside. Just put a little bit more around some of these areas. I don't think it'll move this much, so this is probably way more than I need to do, but that's okay. I like being a little bit excessive sometimes. Yep, that should be just fine. Ah yes, that's right. I had this other little layer to hopefully help with moving her arm around when the time comes. I'm trying to pay attention to the various ridges of the wraps around her arms there. Probably something like this. Yeah. That should give me exactly what I want. I could kind of picture where all the triangles were going to go in my head. Oh, I just decided to put the dots down. Actually, I had to do a little bit of cleaning up on this one. This is the big scary one, right? Yep, we're gonna do that next time. But I think I can do the rest of the layers real quick here, and I think once I finish those, that'll be where I finish things off for today. Just a couple of little cuff layers. Nice and simple. That'll be a nice place to end for today. Yeah, I think I'll just do it like that. There we go. And then I think I want a few around this. There we go, that should be good. Should clean up some of those extra triangles though. Just trying to sneak their way in there where we don't want them. I'm not actually sure if this one needs one either. Yeah, I think this is probably fine. Okay. Ooh, what is that? Is that part of the skirt? Okay. I was worried for a second there. I just noticed this little black part there. Let me see if I can find it. That is definitely one of the backs of the belt loops. I'm not sure how it got in this weird spot. Okay, there we are. Might be easier if I just do 20. Seems like it should already be up there. I guess it's just because I had to bring this down so much. Let's just adjust the whole thing. Okay, I can't do it like that. I'll leave it at 0 then. How am I gonna do this? I don't want that to be like that. Maybe I should just lower you. Okay, that should be fine. Maybe. Let me actually check that. Are you to where you need to go? Oh, you're actually not even low enough. Okay. I've been worrying a bit too much. Okay. I wish there was a better way for me to check stuff like this, but if there is, I don't know what it is, so I guess I do what I gotta do. There we go. Okay, it looks like this one's off too. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can use the same number. Yep. There we go. I'm not sure how the layer order there got all wonky, but might as well fix it now while I see it. Okay. So I do think that's where I will end it for today. We'll do the big scary mesh in the lower arm tomorrow and then jump right into the shirt. So thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me at Twitter and Instagram and I'll take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.